So I was thinking today. I was looking through the papers this morning, and somehow I don't understand it because one of the films that's always sent me to sleep is a film that's got some brilliant animation in it and some brilliant moments. But I can never really get through it, and the live-action remake was even worse. You know, when Jeremy Irons sings "Be prepared," I, I think it's thrilling. I'd love to know if you think if you think as I do that Lion King is badly is badly plotted because it just sort of there are moments where you just sort of dip into into another world. But anyway, today I really want to dip into the world of Reform UK, and you'll see the links. You'll see the links. And I can't get Jeremy Irons out of my mind because I think Farage is not prepared. And Farage is so desperate for revenge that everything will eventually go wrong, and he'll come a cropper. So today's operatic or animated psychodrama from the unhinged world of Reform UK. If you don't want to think of Lion King and the hyenas romping around, giggling, you can think of Succession. If everyone was cast from the lower sixth form debating club, armed with Twitter logins and surplus rage. The protagonist in this story, of course, is Rupert, Rob Arthur Lowe, Loki, the former football chairman, bean-counting Brexiteer, and now possibly police-cautioned pensioner if all goes badly wrong. The man once best known for running Southampton Football Club into the relegation zone now appears to be doing the same for his own political career. The accusation is that he made not one, but two physical threats of physical violence against Zia Yusuf, the party's chairman, who, of course, I don't think he followed through. It's like passing wind without substance, and one of the few people in Reform who's not actively auditioning for a part of Game of Thrones. It seems ironic, doesn't it, that both Zia Yusuf and Robert Rupert Arthur Lowe Key are the two protagonists in this silly drama. You think rather it would be Lee Anderson, the jactitious former Tory turned Reform Whig, who actually has backed Yusuf's account. And I must say, if Anderson thinks you've gone too far, it's time to call in the exorcist, isn't it? When you think of Anderson, you think of him swiping the hat off the top-hatted Brexit protester outside Parliament, or digging him in the chest, and he says, "Oh, that's assault! That's assault!" Well, he's not. It's not that man who's taking someone to court, is it? Now, Lowe denies it all, of course. He claims it's a robust debate. But when the idea of robust includes threats that require a CPS file, and that ends in the deflocculation of your gun collection, you may need to reconsider your understanding of conversation. But let's not mistake this for a man merely out of control. No. This is classic Farage-era reform. High on fabacious intellect, low on HR compliance. Think of it as a beanstalk pantomime. Yeah, beanstalk pantomime. Alex Belfield, once high on YouTube and now in prison and planning to produce the pantomime Jack and the Beanstalker. Though I think his parole rules will get in the way of that ambition. A bit much really. And the eulosic feline, let's remember Jeremy Irons again, be prepared! Because this isn't just the public detonation of one man's parliamentary reputation, it's the latest eruption, like squeezing a zit in the rolling civil war of Reform UK, that ever-fermenting vat of populism, paranoia and pinstripe suits. You see, Nigel Farage, who increasingly exudes a sort of obentious reverence for himself, has built Reform UK in his own image. It's not so much a party as a personality cult with Brexit bunting. If Farage is the Messiah, then Rupert Lowe has become his Judas, or perhaps his Cain, banished, branded, and quite possibly bored. And of course, every melodrama needs a chorus, and what a chorus we have. Lee Anderson, the Shakespearean fool turned sergeant at arms, whose loyalty to Farage is as loud as it is lubricated by Daily Mail column inches. And one can imagine Anderson recounting the whole Lowe saga down at the pub. It's like Henry IV Part 2. And Anderson is expanding into the part. Well, I told him, I said, you can't go around threatening Zia. He's not just a chairman, he's on WhatsApp with Nigel. And then there's the woman who worked for Lowe, now vindicated by Jacqueline Perry, KC, whose report makes for grim reading. The allegations aren't just about office politics, they're about power wielded with all the grace of a lawnmower through a duck pond, harassment, bullying, and a refusal to act on distress. This isn't woke HR lawfare, as Lowe snorts on social media. It's accountability, a concept that seems to terrify some of these so-called anti-establishment warriors, and yet this is all textbook Farage theatre. The man who's made a career from the carnage of others. UKIP, the Brexit Party, now Reform. And at every stage, as colleagues fall into disgrace or just fall out of favour, Nigel remains point in hand, smirk on lips, untouched by the mess. Like a landlord watching the brawl from behind the optics, he doesn't fire people, they simply cease to be. Ask Ben Habib, ask Aaron Banks, ask the Mirror. Farage, as ever, is riding high after local election gains, indulging in one of his favourite pastimes, delivering rousing speeches to pensioners in seaside hotels. Probably not Clacton. He feels untouchable, until, of course, he isn't untouchable. Power in populism is borrowed, not banked. And I would humbly remind Mr. Farage of what happened to Robespierre. When you sharpen the guillotine, sooner or later someone tests its blade on you. Which raises the final question, who next? If Reform UK is now in the business of public ritual sacrifice, who else will tumble into the crosshairs of the bosses? If Lee Anderson thinks he's safe, think again. He's probably safe for now, but the second he forgets to wear his Farage loyalty badge or asks a question about policy beyond stop the boats, he'll be next on the block. And what of Lowe? Will he go quietly into the parliamentary night, or will he, as I suspect, re-emerge in 6 months' time with a new party called something like Proper Reform or Reform the Reformers, flanked by a few ex-UKIP ghosts and a YouTube channel with suspiciously high engagement from some sort of Florida IP address? One thing is certain. We are witnessing the grotesque theatre of populist politics eating themselves. These men built a machine designed to shout louder than everyone else, but now they're trapped inside it like some sort of metal bull, what was it, iron bull, brass bull, and burning alive, and each trying to yell over the other while the floorboards collapse beneath them. Be prepared! Indeed, be prepared, because the ascent of Reform UK cannot last, particularly when they're squabbling among each other.